Okay, good morning everyone. Let's start the class. We have a lot of things to discuss. The only thing which I not happy is that two classes are not enough to cover 1 year current affairs. So I will, after completion of this class, I will hint some other areas which you have to focus. I may not be able to cover everything. That's what I realized after till midnight. I did some exercise, and from 4:30 I'm just going through everything. So I realized that it's not enough. I can tell you that you can watch the videos in YouTube what I have made, but it's like lengthy videos are there, so not required now. But you can just what you can say forward because I always display something on the screen, so you can pause and you can forward. Like I'll try to see if one nation one election or data personal no data protection personal data protection act, if I possible I'll try to cover women reservation, article 370, big టాపిక్స్. సో చెప్పాలంటే చాలా టైం పడుతుంది. I'll see guys today. So yesterday you wrote the notes. Yesterday we have seen many topics, right? సో రివైజ్ చేసుకోండి అన్ని పాయింట్స్, ఇంకా కొన్ని యాడ్ చేద్దాం ఈరోజు. సో వన్ థింగ్, while discussing yesterday, suddenly realized that no, ethics committee just I cursorily I told. So here we have to fish out some important details. We don't know how the exam paper is going to be. Obvious questions can be asked. Obviously we know that these obvious questions means which everybody knows. There is no scope for you to get that kind of edge from the others. So don't be happy if you get easy MCQs in the exam. That is not good, because that means everyone with basic preparation of 6 to 8 months will be able to solve those questions. So I hope UPSC will give some tinge of difference in the MCQs, which I'm expecting this year. Let's wait and watch. Okay, so here if I start with the ethics committee here, okay, which is in news because of Mahua Moitra. Okay, I should also mention to you about privileges committee here. Okay, so which means first things first here, parliamentary committees are different from consultative committees or advisory committees. Basically what happens is, when I say parliamentary committees, I have some criteria that the committee is using the secretariat of the parliament, which means Lok Sabha secretariat or Rajya Sabha secretariat. It is formed by the speaker and the chairman. The members also are sometimes, of course, they have proportional representation. Elections are there for financial committees. In some committees directly nomination is done by the speaker and the chairman. They are nominated posts. They give the report to the concerned presiding officer. అంటే వాళ్ళు లోక్సభ సెక్రటేరియట్ వాడుకుంటారు, రాజ్యసభ సెక్రటేరియట్ వాడుకుంటారు, ప్లస్ ఫామ్ చేసిందే లోక్సభ రాజ్యసభ ప్రిసైడింగ్ ఆఫీసర్స్ వాళ్ళని, మెంబర్స్ని వాళ్ళు అపాయింట్ చేస్తారు. రిపోర్ట్ ఫైనల్లీ కూడా వాళ్ళు ప్రిసైడింగ్ ఆఫీసర్కి మాత్రమే ఇస్తారు. దిస్ ఇస్ ద క్రైటీరియా ఆఫ్ వాట్ పార్లమెంటరీ కమిటీస్. Consultative committees are different, which is headed by the concerned ministers of various ministries. Okay, consultative committees lo ministers untaru. Parliamentary committees lo ministers cannot be a part. So make sure you read the options very thoroughly. Okay, and now when I say ethics committee, privilege committee is already there in India since 1952. It is nothing new, guys. But when I say ethics committee, it has been initiated in Rajya Sabha in 1997 and in Lok Sabha in 2000. Okay, and in this case, ethics committee composition and privilege committee's composition is almost similar. Okay, how many members are there in Rajya Sabha, guys? 10 members are there, and Lok Sabha has 15 members. Here also it is same. Okay, 15 and 10 members are there. Now a question what UPSC can ask. All of us know that we have something called as parliamentary privileges. Parliamentary privileges కూడా న్యూస్లో చాలా ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే రీసెంట్గా సుప్రీంకోర్టు ఒక వర్డిక్ట్ ఇచ్చింది. బ్రైబరీ కేస్, JMM బ్రైబరీ కేస్. I made a detailed video on that also. Okay, so JMM bribery case law, what happened was, basically guys, all of you should know what is 105 and 194 talking about. These privileges are given to MPs as well as members of the legislative assembly or council. ఈ ప్రివిలేజెస్ అంటే దేనికోసం ఇస్తారు వాళ్ళు భయం లేకుండా. Okay, they have to have their conduct inside the house because they represent people inside. If I say don't say this, don't do that, how can I be free? We have seen New Zealand MP singing haka in New Zealand because she is from the Maori tribe. Okay, that means these people are indigenous to New Zealand. Even though the world was divided over whether she should have sang that song inside the parliament or not, which was very, I think you must have seen that, no? It became very viral. So that means at least there is an option for the people inside the house. She will not be punished for that because inside the house you do have the freedom. She is talking about the rights what they enjoy and the oppression what they have faced, because indigenous people everywhere are subjugated by the country because they will take away the resources. Native Americans in USA, Aborigines in Australia, Maoris in New Zealand, Adivasis in India, always discriminated, all we understand. But we have to acknowledge this aspect here. Now, inside the house, I should have the freedom to speak whatever I want. Inside the house, I should not be taken action if I vote as per my conscience. Ante ikkada no action shall be taken against any member of the parliament or state legislature for what is said inside the house and for how they vote in the house. Ela vote chestaru ante ikkada basically what guys here, for their speech and for their vote, no action shall be taken against them. Then we also know that before, if session is going on, 40 days before session, 40 days after session, no arrest can be made. In which cases? In civil cases. No arrest can be made in civil cases 40 days before session and 40 days after the session, guys. Fine. Now, what else we need to understand here? Criminal cases lo arrest cheyacha? Yes, in criminal cases they can be arrested. The only thing is, like Bandi Sanjay, for leaking the question paper, he was arrested by the police. At that time, Parliament was not in session. So, the SP who has arrested him has written a letter to the Lok Sabha Speaker, which means when session is not there, even if you arrest an MP, what you have to do is you have to inform the concerned presiding officer. That is the basic protocol here, guys. If session is going on, then without the permission of the presiding officer, you will not be able to arrest any MP. That means when session is going on, you cannot arrest in criminal case also. You have to take the permission of the house. Then only you can arrest when session is going on. Fine. So all these points you make sure you understand. Then what else? Freedom of speech. 19 clause 2 restrictions. What case I told you? Kaushal Kishore case. There the court has told, should we have some extra restrictions for MPs and MLAs beyond what are mentioned in 19 clause 2? The court has told no. Those 8 grounds, sovereignty, friendly relations with the states, we have this decency, public order, morality, incitement to offense, defamation, ivanni unnai kada, saripotai. No need to add any more restrictions, they have told. And more than us, inside the house, they have the freedom of speech. Inside the house only, guys. Not in the premises outside, or I'm saying about outside this Lok Sabha. No, inside the house only, no action can be taken. That's why when Bhaduria has given kind of hate speech against minorities, no action was taken against him. When Bandi Sanjay also said very bad things about KCR in the house, no defamation can be booked. Even though KTR tweeted that why can't defamation case be booked, he also knows the rules, but maybe for the sake of people, sometimes our politicians will tweet, it's fine. So he tweeted that why no action against him, because inside the house. So here we will also come to defamation after this topic, guys. Okay, so what defamation is, we will see. Now in this ethics committee, privilege committee, because ethics committee came later, it was not there earlier, guys. Privilege committee is something which will examine the breach of privileges. For example, guys, a fellow MP can breach privilege of other MPs. I can breach the privilege of the MPs. That means, very important learning point here, privilege committee will examine breach of privileges not only by the members but also non-members as well. That means it covers members as well as non-members. This can be asked as a statement because ethics committee will deal only with the members of the house, which is the ethical and moral conduct. Ethical and moral conduct. Whereas privileged committee can take action against us also. Ethics committee can take action only against the MP if they are not having ethical conduct. Now, what is the meaning of ethical conduct has not been defined. That is why Mahua Moitra case is kind of blow to justice, people say, because generally what is the allegation against her is it is alleged that she is in relationship with a businessman, okay, Hiranandani, and that person is a competitor to Gautam Adani, or he wanted to ask some questions in the parliament, and she has taken some gifts from him, and she has shared the parliamentary login ID credentials with him, and he posted the questions to be asked in the house on her behalf. While it is true that many of the MPs or the MLAs do share the credentials with their friends or family members, it is of course not ethically right. But here the question was that bribes, okay, question, cash for query. Cash for query means for asking questions in the house, you are taking cash. That actually is a breach of the privilege. Technically, this should have been examined by the privileges committee. But maybe, who knows, government wanted to target her. What they have done, if they examine by that committee, what happens? Even that guy also has to be punished, because he is breaching the privilege of the house. So what happens here? That means maybe government didn't want to punish him. Only her they wanted to punish. So ethics committee took the action against her. అర్థమవుతుంది పాయింట్. సో అదొక ఇక ఆస్పెక్ట్ మనం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. అంటే ఎగ్జామ్లో రాయం మనం ఈ పాయింట్స్ కానీ జస్ట్ ఫర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ గైస్. సో బికాస్ దే కెనాట్ టేక్ యాక్షన్ అగేన్స్ట్ అవుట్సైడర్స్, they only can take. As a result, ethics committee has asked her, summoned her, they asked questions to her, and finally they submitted report. That report is sent to the concerned house where she belongs. Of course, Lok Sabha lo undi kabatti Krishnanagar constituency in West Bengal. So she has been, the report has been introduced, but hardly discussion happened. Generally, you need to have 30-minute discussion. Half an hour discussion is permitted on the report, what the report has been given to the house. A 30-minute discussion tarvata, then the house can vote. After this, what happens, guys? The house can vote whether or not to allow and expel cheyala, lekapothe whether not to take any action or not. They can take any vote. So in this vote, the house decided to expel her. So here the key word is, once this privilege committee or ethics committee report comes, and if the house votes you out, you are expelled from the house. Expelling means you will not be able to enter the premises of the parliament. That is a very important point. Suspension means you can come back next session. Expelling means you cannot come back, guys. Okay? So, ఈ పాయింట్ ఇందులో వాళ్ళు కావాలని కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేస్తే ఈ మధ్య అంటే ఒకటో రెండో ఫ్యాక్ట్స్లా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగితే దే మే ఆస్క్ ద కాంపోజిషన్, ద ఇయర్ ఆర్ ది కాంపోజిషన్, ఆర్ దే మే ఆస్క్ దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ క్లించింగ్ పాయింట్ విచ్ మెనీ పీపుల్ విల్ నాట్ ఫోకస్. అర్థమైందా? మెంబర్స్ అండ్ నాన్ మెంబర్స్, ఓన్లీ మెంబర్స్. ఆ పాయింట్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి. ఓకేనా? నౌ లెట్స్ కమ్ టు ద క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ రీసెంట్ సీతా సోరెన్ వర్సెస్ యూనియన్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా. సీతా సోరెన్ కేసు ఏంటంటే, అగైన్ ఇది మెయిన్స్లో రాయట్రీ కేసు లాస్. 1998లో పివి నరసింహారావు కేసు ఒకటి ఉందన్నమాట. అదేంటంటే జేఎంఎం బ్రైబరీ కేస్. జేఎంఎం బ్రైబరీ కేస్. ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ సమ్ ఎంపీస్ టుక్ మనీ టు ఓట్, ఓకే, నాట్ యాజ్ పర్ దేర్ కాన్షియన్స్. డబ్బులు ఇచ్చి వాళ్ళు ఓట్ చేశారన్నమాట వాళ్ళ విధంగా. విల్ దిస్ కవర్ అండర్ ద ఆర్టికల్ 105 ఆర్ నాట్? కెన్ ఐ టేక్ మనీ అండ్ ఓట్? ఓకే, అంటే కెన్ ఐ టేక్ బ్రైబ్ ఫ్రమ్ సమ్వన్ అండ్ ఓట్ యాజ్ పర్ దేర్ డైరెక్షన్స్? ఈజ్ ఇట్ ఎన్ offense or not? In this case, the court at that time has told that it is not, okay, you are not liable, ante it is privilege, it comes under privileges. Okay, no action shall be taken in this case. That is has been reversed now in Sita Soren case, Jharkhand lo. Okay, MLA ga untu, she has not she was, of course she took money but she didn't vote. That's a different thing. So she told that, sir, JMM bribery case will give me the option, no, that it's my privilege whether I can take money from anyone and vote as per their directions. It is covered under article 105 as per JMM bribery case. Supreme Court has reversed this now. ఓకే, సీతా సోరెన్ కేసు అని చెప్పేసి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, సీతా సోరెన్, Jharkhand. Okay, in this case the court has told what? Supreme Court has told it is not covered. Ante taking cash for votes or voting by taking bribes is not a privilege. Okay, okay, taking bribes for votes, for voting in the house is not a parliamentary privilege. Okay, I hope you understood this entire topic, guys. Is not a privilege. Now this brings us to another question here. Of course, contempt of the house also is there in India, apart from contempt of court, guys. So here parliamentary privileges are given to house members, individuals. Okay, and for the house also we have collective privileges. Okay, individual privileges and we have collective privileges. And is there any source in the constitution where properly all privileges are written? We don't have any single source. Okay, how we know then? We know as per, okay, some of them can be coming from constitution. Okay, and some because 105, 194 లో ఏం రాసారంటే అప్పుడు whatever the House of Commons is following, same privileges are applicable to Indian MPs అని చెప్పేసి రాశారు. అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఏవైతున్నాయో మా వాళ్ళకు కూడా అదే ఇవ్వండి, సింపుల్గా చెప్పాలంటే. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ బిన్ మెన్షన్. కానీ 44th Amendment 1978 తర్వాత ఆ హౌస్ ఆఫ్ కామన్స్ రిఫరెన్స్ తీసేశారు. They removed the reference to House of Commons and they told whatever privileges are existing since the constitution has been there will continue అని చెప్పేసి రాశారు. అంటే House of Commons reference was removed by 44th Amendment 1978. Now, how do we understand privileges? By constitution, by laws, by conventions, by judicial pronouncements. All these are permitted. Is there any single document of parliamentary privileges? No, that is a mains question. Okay, analyze the okay, the importance of codification of privileges ani mains lo question ostundi. Fine, that is for mains. Why should we codify? Why should we not codify? That is the mains question. As of now, we don't have one single codified document for parliamentary privileges. Okay, now here comes another point. Apart from this, what else we can cover is yeah, I think most of the points are covered here. Contempt of the house, I was saying. ఈ ప్రివిలేజెస్ మాత్రమే కాకుండా హౌస్ కెన్ పనిష్ ఫర్ కంటెంప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఫర్ ఎనీ వన్. ఇఫ్ యూ క్రిటిసైజ్ ద హౌస్, ఇఫ్ యూ క్రిటిసైజ్ ద స్టేట్, you can still, the house can still punish. There was this guy called Abhijit Iyer Mitra. Okay, so he has this knack of making comedy of everyone. He went to Odisha and there, I think Konark temple he went and he made fun of Odisha and all that. So Odisha assembly passed a resolution that how can you insult our state, our MLAs or our historical monuments, and cheppesi they have passed a resolution, contempt. Okay, and he was arrested and he was there in jail for many weeks. Okay, that means the house can punish for its own contempt also, guys. Outsiders ni punish cheyochu. If somebody accurate does not represent the reports accurately, false reports file chestunnaru, okay, like parliament jarigindi okati, you are reporting something else, then also they can punish. In the past, one Urdu newspaper editor was arrested for false reporting of the proceedings of the house. This is the privilege of the house, guys. Ardhamainda, ivanni cover avutayi. So if they give any question on privileges, you should be able to answer no, guys. Any statement, and if they give bouncers like only 2 statements are correct, only 3 are correct, be ready for those kind of questions also. అప్పుడప్పుడు అందులో కూడా లక్ ఉంటుంది. ఇన్ ద 4 you know at least 2 are correct also. ఏ 2 కరెక్ట్ తెలీదు, అయినా కూడా లక్ అప్పుడు పనిచేస్తుంది. అర్థమైందా? 4లో అప్పుడప్పుడు you don't know exactly which 2 are correct, but some 2 are correct. అలాంటప్పుడు కూడా luck will favor, guys. So reverse logic here. Fine. Outside also, generally in that case, you know, he has not come to the house or anything, he just insulted Odisha, but for that also the house has passed a resolution and they punished him. MP resigns, they can punish. Breach of privileges means they can punish any fellow MP. Within the house also they can punish, as far as I know, because within the house even though judiciary will not involve because of separation of powers 122 and 212 we have, but the point is the house has its own rules. As per the rules they can punish. That means rules of procedure conduct of business allow the presiding officers to take action against the errant MPs, those who are breaching privileges of virtue, those who are having unruly conduct of virtue. Okay, last week Taiwan law, the bill was being introduced and one of the MPs took the bill and ran away inside the house. Okay, all those scenes will happen, guys. In India, of course, antavaraku raledu, but Rajgopal has brought pepper spray inside the parliament, guys. So I hope those who came late, you have missed all these points, guys. Potential question for the prelims. So make sure I'll ask them to upload in the YouTube one by one. 4 parts videos. Okay, 2 parts అలా చేసి అప్లోడ్ చేయమని చెప్పాను. కానీ ద ఓన్లీ సాడ్ థింగ్ ఈజ్ ఐ విల్ నాట్ బి ఏబుల్ టు కవర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ వాట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు. దట్ ఈస్ మై ఓన్లీ problem I can feel. Okay, so now guys, last before this, now what about outside the house? Defamation is something which is also in news. Okay, so anta baane undi. Mari what is defamation here, guys? Is it defined in the Indian Penal Code? Means yes, it is defined, guys. What sections are covered for defamation is section 499 of the IPC Indian Penal Code and section 500 of the IPC deal with defamation. Defamation is also a reasonable restriction on freedom of speech in Article 19 clause 2, guys. Now a question here. So defamation means what, guys? Again, we don't have to write, just listen and remember, guys. Like whoever by writing or by words or any visible representation causes harm, okay, or we can say imputation, until it's like you are kind of insinuating that this speech or this writing, this cartoon, etc., is harming the reputation or the character of a person, that is considered as defamation. అది రైటింగ్లో అవ్వచ్చు, పాట అవ్వచ్చు, కార్టూన్ అవ్వచ్చు, ఏదైనా అవ్వచ్చు. ఇలాంటి ఫామ్లో ఎవరైనా వేరే పర్సన్ యొక్క రెప్యుటేషన్ని హార్మ్ చేస్తే ఇట్ ఈస్ కన్సిడర్డ్ యాజ్ డెఫమేషన్. దట్ మీన్స్, గైస్, హియర్ సెక్షన్ 499 defines defamation. What I just told you now, it is there in section 499. What is the punishment is prescribed in section 500, guys, which could be up to 2 years. Up to 2 years or fine or both. Up to 2 years means in our Indian Penal Code, what we do is we don't always prescribe the maximum punishments. Depending on the gravity of the offense, seriousness of the offense, we prescribe up to 7 years, up to 3 years. That means up to 10 years means depending on the seriousness, the facts of the matter. I told you, no, consider the facts of the case. How many offenses have been, how many facts, are establishing the gravity of the offense, that will decide your maximum sentence, guys. That means, like I told yesterday, maybe I forgot, again I will remind, guys. Okay, when you say a non-bailable offense does not mean bail will not come. Please see, I always, that's why I think I should better make slides and teach. Okay, sometimes some facts will slip off from the mind, guys, and I can't sleep at night. When then those facts come at 2 o'clock, I wake up and I will immediately open my phone notes app and I will write there, guys. Okay, fine. That's a habit I have been having for many years. I have some obsessions and compulsions. I suffer with them in my life, guys. Okay, not able to come off them. So what happens here is, non-bailable offense means it's a discretion of the judge whether to give bail or not. That means even in non-bailable offenses, you can approach the court. That is what is anticipatory bail also. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే అండి, bailable offenses కి అంత భయపడం మనం, because I can easily go and access the bail. Like this person who has negligent driving, culpable homicide, not amounted to murder, it is that guy who has driven the Porsche, okay, and he has been arrested. Within 15 hours he got the bail because the offense is bailable offense for which he has been booked. That is why 15 hours was enough for him to be free. The point is that now non-bailable offenses are those where it is the discretion of the concerned magistrate or the high court's judge or the sessions court judge to grant bail or not. Okay, don't forget this point, guys. Now in this particular defamation, Rahul Gandhi has been given 2 years, which is the maximum. Since the penal code has been drafted in 1860, no person has got 2 years of jail or sentence for this particular case. Now how shall we link this topic, guys? Here defamation ane point ikkada baane undi. There are 2 types of defamations. One is civil defamation, another one is criminal defamation. Civil defamation means here you are not sentencing a person to jail. You can either ask for the apology or you can ask for compensation, damages, okay, compensation. పరువు నష్టం దావా వేస్తానని చెప్పేసి you will do that, guys. So you can file either civil defamation case or criminal defamation case. If I file criminal defamation case, that means punishment becomes mandatory here, which is above, or you can say up to 2 years, or okay, a fine or both. Now this is what has happened. Rahul Gandhi was, what defamation they filed here? Criminal defamation case has been filed. Many times Arvind Kejriwal has commented against Arun Jaitley, who is no more now. So many times at the end of the court proceedings, Kejriwal apologized and Arun Jaitley has withdrawn the case. So it is civil defamation cases, guys. Criminal defamation case lo you want to send a message to the people, you want to punish the perpetrator. Rahul Gandhi was punished and he got the jail. Now this is the end of defamation. But the point is that we have to link this with section 8 clause 4 of the RP Act, guys. Section 8 clause 4 of the RP Act. Why? Because in the past, guys, if any person who is మనకు డిఫమేషన్ పెడితే మనకు ఇబ్బంది లేదు, అంటే ఇబ్బంది లేదంటే విల్ బి ఇన్ జైల్ ఆఫ్ కోర్స్, బట్ వీఆర్ నాట్ ఎంపీ ఎమ్మెల్యే కాబట్టి ఇట్స్ ఫైన్. బట్ ఇఫ్ యూఆర్ ఎంపీ ఎమ్మెల్యే, ఇఫ్ యూ గెట్ 2 years, బిగ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్, బికాస్ నౌ యూ ఆర్ నో లాంగర్ ఎన్ ఎంపీ, బికాస్ 8 clause 4 of RP Act which gave shield for any person who is a member of the legislature that they will be able to appeal to any higher court within 3 months. Because 8 clause 3 is more important here, guys. 8 clause 3 ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఇక్కడ? ఫర్ ఎనీ వాట్ offenses, అబ్బా టాపిక్ పెద్దగా అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సరే. డూ యూ నో 8 clause 1, 8 clause 2, గైస్? Okay, 8 clause 1 of the RP Act says that Prevention of Corruption Act, Sati Act, okay, Narcotics, Psychotropic Substances Act అవ్వచ్చు, 153A Promoting Enmity, 179A Undue Influencing of Elections, ఇవన్నీ ఒక పెద్ద లిస్ట్ ఉంటుందన్నమాట. ఇవన్నీ ఆఫెన్సెస్ 8 clause 1లో మెన్షన్ చేశారు. ఈ 8 clause 1లో ఉన్న కేసు మీ మీద బుక్ అయితే, ఓకే, then what happens, guys? Then you are disqualified even if you don't get 2 years or 1 year or 6 months. Sentence is enough. Sorry, fine is enough. Or understand, fine kantuna, sorry. Conviction is enough. Conviction is enough for 8 clause 1. Okay, generally, guys, 8 clause 3 మాత్రమే కాదండి. 8 clause 1లో చెప్పిన మొత్తం అఫెన్స్, సతీ యాక్ట్, డౌరీ యాక్ట్ ఇవన్నీ ఉంటాయి కదండి, ప్రివెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ కరప్షన్ యాక్ట్ అని చెప్పేసి, నార్కోటిక్స్ యాక్ట్ అని చెప్పేసి, ప్రమోటింగ్ ఎన్మిటీ, బ్రైబరీ, ఇవన్నీ 153 సెక్షన్స్లో ఉన్నాయి, ఐపీసీలో ఉన్నాయి, ప్లస్ ఆర్పీ యాక్ట్లో ఉన్నాయి. అవన్నీ సెక్షన్స్లో, సారీ, ఐపీసీలో ఉన్నాయి అండ్ రిలవెంట్ యాక్ట్స్లో ఉన్నాయి. రిలవెంట్ యాక్ట్స్ అంటే నార్కోటిక్స్ యాక్ట్, కరప్షన్ యాక్ట్, సతీ యాక్ట్. ఓకే, ఇన్ ఆల్ దీస్ యాక్ట్స్ ఇఫ్ యూ ఆర్ జస్ట్ కన్విక్టెడ్ ఈజ్ ఇనఫ్. Here 2 years is not important, guys. Then 8 clause 2 talks about what offenses? Holding, adulteration, MDH masala. Okay, adulteration of things, you know, right? Adulteration means what? Mixing, you know, impure things in food items, etc. Okay, so adulteration అవ్వచ్చు, హోల్డింగ్ అవ్వచ్చు, యూనో ప్రాఫిటీరింగ్ అవ్వచ్చు, అంటే ఇలాగే హోల్డింగ్ చేసుకుని ప్రాఫిటీరింగ్ చేసుకుని డబ్బులు బాగా ఎర్న్ చేయవచ్చు. ఇలాంటి కేసెస్లో if you get a sentence of at least 6 months or fine, you will be disqualified, guys. 6 months రావాలి ఇందులో. Now 8 clause 3 here, guys. 8 clause 3 says any offenses not covered in 8 clause 1, 8 clause 2. If you are convicted of such offenses for not less than 2 years, then you shall be disqualified. అర్థమైందా పాయింట్? So 8 clause 3 is talking about 2 years, guys. 8 clause 1, 8 clause 2 are not talking about 2 years. I hope you'll remember this point, guys. If UPSC wants to increase the level of asking questions in the exam, they can mention this 8 clause 1, 8 clause 2 also, guys. ఈ మధ్య న్యూస్లో ఉంది, లాస్ట్ వీక్ Punmudi was arrested, Tamil Nadu MLA, guys. So in that case, Hindu has given a big article about offences where no need to have 2 years. By default, everybody's mind is fixed in India. 2 years వస్తేనే జైల్ అని చెప్పేసి, డిస్క్వాలిఫై అని చెప్పేసి, అలాంటిది ఏం లేదండి. ఓకేనా? సో 8 clause 3లో ఇప్పుడు డిఫమేషన్ అనేది 8 clause 3లో, అది 1లో 2లో లేదు కాబట్టి 8 clause 3లో కవర్ అయిపోతుంది. కాబట్టి రాహుల్ గాంధీ ఏమయ్యాడు? ఇమ్మీడియట్ డిస్క్వాలిఫై అయిపోయారు. లాస్ట్ టైం ఆప్షన్ వాట్ వాజ్ దేర్, గైస్? 8 clause 4 is to say that if you appeal to the higher court, కింది స్థాయి కోర్టు నుంచి ఒక హయ్యర్ కోర్ట్కి అపీల్ చేసుకున్నాను అనుకోండి, హౌ మెనీ మంత్స్? విత్ ఇన్ 3 months. of the verdict of of the conviction, you shall not be disqualified. That means you can continue to be an MP or MLA or MLC if you appeal after the conviction within 3 months. This was struck down by the court in famous Lily Thomas versus Union of India case. It struck down 8 clause 4 of the RP Act. Now what was the option here, guys? The option before Rahul Gandhi was, even then also, as PDT Achari, former Secretary General, has written in the Hindu, same points here, guys. He told the same point here. If you get the stay on what? Conviction, then you shall not be disqualified. Which means what? Already the trial court which gave verdict against Rahul Gandhi, already they suspended sentences by themselves. That is why even after many months also, Rahul Gandhi was not in jail. Because sentence ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత కూడా హౌస్ అనేది కోర్ట్ అనేది తనే సస్పెండ్ చేసిన సెంటెన్స్. అంటే కోర్ట్స్ హ్యావ్ ద పవర్ టు suspend the sentence for a temporary period of time as well. That is what the court has done. So Rahul Gandhi got the option of not going to the jail and applying for judicial remedy. Of course, he was disqualified. Generally, within 1 week of declaration of this kind of conviction and disqualification, Election Commission of India will give notice for the bypolls. Because you cannot keep an MP seat vacant for a long time or MLA seat. Within 1 week, they will give the notification. But in the past, because of this, some people managed to get stay on conviction, but they lost their seat to not, because Rahul Gandhi high profile case, the Election Commission here took some caution and they have not announced the date of the election, guys, by elections. Vacant అయిపోయింది కదా సీట్, చేయలేదు. సరే అంతా అయిపోయింది. సో మళ్ళీ సెషన్స్ కోర్ట్కి వెళ్ళారు, సూరత్ సెషన్స్ కోర్ట్కి వెళ్ళారు, వాళ్ళు కూడా రిలీఫ్ ఇవ్వలేదు. హైకోర్ట్కి వెళ్ళారు, వాళ్ళు రిలీఫ్ ఇవ్వలేదు. ఫైనల్లీ ఇట్ వాస్ సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ విచ్ గేవ్ ద స్టే ఆన్ వాట్, గైస్? సెంటెన్సా, కన్విక్షనా? You should get what? Guys, very important point. You should get stay on conviction. Then you are not disqualified. Same thing happened last month in governor's case of Tamil Nadu, guys. Tamil Nadu lo Poonmudi was arrested in disproportionate assets case. And was convicted under disproportionate assets case. He went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court gave a stay on the conviction. ఓకే, ఆదాయానికి మించిన ఆస్తులు ఉన్నాయని చెప్పేసి ఐ థింక్ ఆ కేసులో ఆయన మీద కేసు బుక్ అయితే కన్విక్ట్ అయ్యారు. ఓకే, సో డిస్క్వాలిఫై అయ్యారు. సో వాట్ హీ డిడ్ ఇమీడియట్లీ వెంట్ టు సుప్రీం కోర్ట్. సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ గేవ్ స్టే ఆన్ డిస్క్వాలిఫికేషన్. హైలైట్ జోక్ ఏమైందంటే ఇక్కడ, వెన్ తమిళనాడు గవర్నమెంట్, డిఎంకే గవర్నమెంట్ వాంట్ టు అపాయింట్ హిమ్ యాజ్ మినిస్టర్ as per Article 164, guys. So what happened in this case? The governor refused to appoint him as minister by saying that it is stay on conviction, he is not free. He is still having very serious charges. A stay on conviction does not mean he is not guilty. Are who are you to decide, man? Point is that Supreme Court killed in the case. Supreme Court, the way Supreme Court blasted, I can't even, chala fun navvukunaru full. Supreme Court was almost ready to pass an order to remove the governor. That much angry it was. It told, what are you talking? The council, not the governor, of course. What you're talking here? When this court has granted stay on conviction, do you know the rules? How can you decide for yourself that he is, not qualified to become a minister? You have to follow the constitutional provisions and చెప్పేసి రిమైండ్ చేశారు. చేసి మళ్ళీ లాయర్ అంటే డూ యూ వాంట్ us to pass the order అని చెప్పేసి చెప్తే దే హ్యావ్ టోల్డ్ ఓకే సార్ అని చెప్తే సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ డిడ్ నాట్ ఈవెన్ గివ్ 24 hours. బై టుమారో మార్నింగ్ take the final decision, otherwise we will be compelled to pass the orders అని చెప్పేసి సుప్రీం కోర్ట్ హ్యాస్ వార్న్ హియర్, గైస్. సో గవర్నర్ రవి, that day I posted on my WhatsApp also, इतना insult के बाद तो you have to resign, guys. మరి ఇంత అంటే, or at least if somebody will spit on you, you are like, it's okay, అలవాటే కదా అని చెప్పేసి అలా. Because this is not the first time. Last time I didn't sign the bills also. Article 200. Supreme Court was very angry here. But again, that's the main question. Governor's most abused political office in India. Okay, fine. So done with all these segments, guys. Here, do you have any questions now? Hopefully, you understood this topic. What else? Just hold on. I covered everything. Okay, some random things were coming in my mind with respect to elections and all that, but I will try to cover them all at once. EVMs, VVPATs I will discuss. women reservation is in news, guys. Okay, or before the delimitation we will see. Delimitation we will see here, guys. It's also in news. Why, guys? Delimitation is in news because okay, inka apart from that, last time 2001 our time low when delimitation was done, Assam, Meghalaya, okay, Manipur, these were not touched. They told we will not go for delimitation, we'll do later, because already migration happened a lot here. If you see current population, we are dead. అర్థమైందా? If you see current population, we will not be able to, we have to give them citizenship, అది రిప్రజెంటేషన్ అని చెప్పేసి మా దగ్గర చాలామంది మైగ్రేషన్ వస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి మేము చేయమని చెప్పారు. అండ్ ఆల్రెడీ యూ మస్ట్ నో అబౌట్ అస్సాం accord between Rajiv Gandhi government and ASU. Okay, why they were not happy is because of influx of Bangladeshi people into India during Bangladesh Liberation War. Suddenly demographics have changed in Assam. So if you what they're asking for, guys, decide who is citizen of resident of Assam అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు అడిగారు. ఎన్ఆర్సీ చేశారు. ఎన్ఆర్సీ చేస్తే కూడా అందులో 19 lakh members have been excluded from citizenship. So what happened then? The orders were not complied with. 19 lakh members లో చాలా మంది అస్సాంలో ఉంటున్న వాళ్ళు కూడా ఉన్నారు. Who is citizen or not decide చేయడానికి నేషనల్ రిజిస్టర్ ఆఫ్ సిటిజన్స్ అని చెప్పేసి ఎన్ఆర్సీ ఎక్సైజ్ వాళ్ళు చేశారు. But they have not implemented that, guys. So here what happens, guys? Now Assam is going for delimitation. That is the news, guys. Already Jammu Kashmir had delimitation recently. So some facts here, guys. What is delimitation here? Delimitation means fixing of the, okay, don't need to write the points, okay, fixing the territorial limits of any constituency or the boundaries, because we have several constituencies in India, single member constituencies. Sometimes changes will happen. Generally what happens, guys, 1:1 million is the ratio what we follow in India. We make sure that if any population changes happen, దాని తగ్గట్టుగా ఎంపీస్ పెంచుతూ ఉండాలి ఆ తగ్గిస్తూ ఉండాలి. పాపులేషన్ పెరిగే కొద్దీ సీట్స్ డివైడ్ చేసి దానికి తగ్గట్టుగా రేషియో ఈక్వల్గా ఉండేటట్టుగా, okay, 1:1 million ఉండేటట్టుగా రేషియో we have to divide the constituencies, which means as simple as this. Delimitation is an exercise which is done to make sure to represent the changes in the population of the constituencies. Kabatti delimitation anedi is mentioned, of course, in constitution in multiple places. So what are the articles here, guys? Article 82 and Article 170. At Parliament it states యొక్క exercise అంటే delimitation happens after every census. We need to go for delimitation. Delimitation after every census we have to do this. First time, of course, we did not have delimitation commission, so president by consulting election commission decided the boundaries of India's constituencies. Uske baad 52 was the time, guys, we established as per an act of the parliament first delimitation commission. Now very important point. Is delimitation commission a constitutional body or a statutory body is one of the most asked questions by the students. Basically delimitation is mentioned in the constitution, of course, but delimitation commission is established as per an act made by the parliament, which means states do not have power to constitute delimitation commission. This article just mention about delimitation of states and the parliament. They don't say that states can do their own delimitation. No, guys, which means delimitation is a commission. Delimitation commission is a statutory body enacted only by the parliament. By the parliament only delimitation happens, guys. Fine. Now how many acts have been passed so far for delimitation? Four acts have been passed. 52 Act, 62 Act, 1972 Act and 2002 Acts. I'm talking about acts, guys. Implementations 52, 63, 73, 78 varaku finally they have formally notified the orders. 2003 ala years will change, but acts are these acts. Okay, so 4 times it has been happened. Now an important question what can be asked in the exam is delimitation till here, guys, was discussing about the changes of the population. Number of seats have increased till the census of 1971. Every 10-year census happens in India. Fine, that is the factual point here, guys. Aithe last time the increase or decrease of seats happened in India as per which census means it is 1971 census. That is why in president elections, when you see the formula of the value of vote of an MLA, you will see what population there, guys. 1971 population you will see there. ఓకే, ఎందుకంటే ఆ పాపులేషన్ ఆధారంగానే ఇండియాలో లాస్ట్ టైం సీట్లన్నీ పెంచారు. ఇప్పుడున్న మ్యాక్సిమం శాంక్షన్స్ స్ట్రెంత్ 552 అని చెప్పేసి 250 అని చెప్పేసి వింటాం కదా మనం. ఆ స్ట్రెంత్ అది ఈ సెన్సస్ ద్వారా వచ్చింది. దెన్ వాట్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఆఫ్టర్ దట్, ఇందిరాగాంధీ గవర్నమెంట్ ఓకే బికాస్ పాపులేషన్ పెరిగే కొద్ది సీట్లు ఇచ్చుకుంటూ వెళ్తే చాలా ఇబ్బందులు వస్తాయి కాబట్టి పాపులేషన్ తక్కువ ఉన్న స్టేట్స్కి తక్కువ సీట్లు, ఎక్కువ ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి ఎక్కువ సీట్లు వస్తాయి కాబట్టి ఇట్స్ నాట్ గుడ్. సో గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా వాజ్ గోయింగ్ ఫర్ ఫ్యామిలీ ప్లానింగ్ ఆపరేషన్స్, కాంట్రసెప్టివ్స్, దిస్ అండ్ దాట్ వర్ properly implementing family planning and all that, guys. So it will take some time, no? So what she has done in that Maha amendment, what she has passed, what she did, guys, she has frozen the delimitation for the next 25 years. It was frozen or freeze. Means from this 1976, next 25 years, no delimitation should happen in India, which increases or decreases the number of seats. That means number of seats were frozen here, not exactly delimitation, number of seats we can say. So what happened here, guys? So Vajpayee's time has come. Okay, when Vajpayee became the Prime Minister of India, 25 plus 1976 is 2001. So what happened then, guys? At the time also population was not stable. It was like almost in 1990s, if I remember, huge celebrations were there. Your generation, of course, do you remember 50 years of India's independence celebrations? No, right? 1997 low. You are not there? There but not in the census, huh? Okay, fine. I remember it was a huge celebration, guys, for all of us. Fine. In 2001, when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, of course, he had this option whether to go for delimitation or not. He told no, nahi bada, population abhi badh raha hai. So he told inko 25 years. So what he has done then? 84th Amendment Act 2000 when froze for 25 years more, which means what, guys? 1976 plus 50, how about 2026, which means till 2026 no delimitation will be done. That means next delimitation should happen after the census, after this 2026. ఈ సంవత్సరం తర్వాత జరిగే సెన్సస్ రిపోర్ట్ బట్టి ఆ పాపులేషన్ బట్టి డిలిమిటేషన్ చేయాలి. అందుకే 71 సెన్సస్ ద్వారా వచ్చిన సీట్లు ఇప్పటి వరకు అలాగే ఇండియాలో ఉన్నాయి. చాలా పాపులేషన్ మారింది. 543 కాస్త 800 మారే ఛాన్సెస్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి, 888 లాగా. ఓకే, దట్ వీ విల్ సీ వాట్ మోదీ విల్ డూ ఆర్ నెక్స్ట్ పిఎం హూ విల్ బికమ్, దే విల్ డూ, గైస్. ఓకే, ఫైన్. సో నౌ వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, గైస్. This amendment also has told that, Arey bhaiya, for this internal adjustments, let us not still use 1971 census, let us use 1991 census. Ante enti, Telangana has been created, Bhadrachalam villages, some of them have been mandals given to Andhra Pradesh. Now I should divide, no, who actually comes under what constituency. So internal adjustments India is doing since we created Uttarakhand, Jharkhand or Chhattisgarh or let's say AP, Telangana, Jammu and Kashmir, this and that. Internal adjustments we are doing. We are not increasing or decreasing the number of seats. Adjustments of boundaries we are doing. For that we can go for delimitation. Increase, decrease of seats after this particular date, guys. So internal adjustments date can be done, but still they were following 1971 census, part of census. Vajpayee told, Arey bhaiya, ek kaam karenge, we'll do one thing. Let us use for internal adjustments now 1991 census should be used for internal adjustments. Internal adjustments. 1991 census. Then what about next one, guys? 87th Amendment 2003. Because 2001 లో సెన్సస్ ప్రక్రియ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే 2 years లో కంప్లీట్ అయిపోయింది. సో వాజ్పేయి టోల్డ్, okay, let us do one thing. For now, internal adjustments, instead of 1991 census, freshly we got 2001 census. That we will use. Okay. So from now onwards, let us use 2001 census for internal adjustments. 2001 census. Which is the only state in India which has gone for delimitation by 2011 census? The answer is Jammu and Kashmir, because of an act passed by the parliament, guys. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act is there. No, as per the act, they provided a provision that J and K is the only state in India which has used 2011 census. And the conclusion part, what about now? Assam Election Commission has notified delimitation for Assam. They told no, 2011 we won't use. We want to use 2001 census, because right now Muslim population బాగా పెరిగిపోయిందని చెప్పేసి, ఓకే, మైగ్రెంట్ పాపులేషన్ బాగా పెరిగిపోయిందని చెప్పేసి లేటెస్ట్గా వద్దడ్డి మాకు వీ వాంట్ టు యూస్ 2001 సెన్సస్ అని చెప్పారు అస్సాంలో. ఓకేనా అండి? జనరల్గా మెంబర్స్ ఎవరు ఉంటారు ఇందులో డెలిమిటేషన్ కమిషన్లో? ఒక రిటైర్డ్ సుప్రీంకోర్టు జడ్జ్, అంటే ప్రెసిడెంట్ ఏం చేస్తారు, డిలిమిటేషన్ కమిషన్ మెంబర్స్ని అపాయింట్ చేస్తారు, కమిషన్ ఏర్పాటు చేస్తారు. అందులో మెంబర్స్ ఎవరు ఉంటారంటే రిటైర్డ్ సుప్రీంకోర్టు జడ్జ్, ఓకే, ఇంకా చీఫ్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్, రెస్పెక్టివ్ స్టేట్ ఎలక్షన్ కమిషనర్స్. Delimitation orders are final and binding. No appeal in any court after final orders have come. Draft can be appealed, but once final orders of delimitation commission comes, no appeal is permitted, guys. Some people can file case about delimitation process appeals. ప్రాసెస్ కరెక్ట్గా జరగలేదు అని చెప్పేసి అపీల్ ఫైల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, కానీ డీలిమిటేషన్ ఇచ్చిన అవార్డ్ మనం అపీల్ చేసుకోలేం. అర్థమైందా? ఫైనల్ అవార్డ్స్ ప్రాసెస్ అవకతవకలు జరిగి సరిగ్గా చేయలేండి కేసు ఫైల్ చేయొచ్చు, కానీ వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చిన ఒక డెసిషన్ అయితే ఫైనల్గా ఉంటుందో అది మనం క్వశ్చన్ చేయలేం. ఇఫ్ ద డీలిమిటేషన్ ఫైనల్ ఆర్డర్స్ ఆర్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూటెడ్ ఇన్ ద హౌస్, can the house modify them? No modification. Okay, no modification inside the legislature is permitted. No modification by legislature is permitted. Okay, we cannot modify. This is delimitation, guys. Okay, fine. Any doubts in this delimitation? Is it clear? Fine. So now యా, విచ్ రీఆర్గనైజేషన్ యాక్ట్ అంటున్నారా? అది ఆల్రెడీ ఎప్పటి నుంచో ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ ఉంది కదా. If it is already passed, it will be implemented. That's the point. Yeah, see what they have done is, even this one also, personally I am also having certain doubts in this, like 90 seats unnai ippudu, ante I am not counting POK here. Indulo what they have done is, they have given 43 to Jammu, 47 to Kashmir. They actually added some of the seats to Jammu and reorganized the seats from Kashmir. Konni seats ichesi vallu Jammu ki transfer chesaru konni seats. This they have done. The explanation of many articles says yes, they could do it as per the delimitation act అని చెప్పేసి అంటున్నారు. But will it be counted as increase of number of seats or not? That we have to find. Like I couldn't find any information which has given me explanation whether this is permitted because of this amendment. Okay, this amendment is something which always comes to my mind, but still they managed to reorganize the seats by adding some more seats to Jammu. ఒక 4+ సీట్స్ ఎక్కువ యాడ్ చేశారనమాట. ఇప్పుడు తేడా చాలా తక్కువైపోయింది. సో ముస్లిం మెజారిటీ, హిందూ మెజారిటీ అని చెప్పేసి కొంచెం కన్సర్న్స్ వస్తున్నాయి. చూద్దాం, ఇఫ్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఐ విల్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్, విల్ సీ. యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నో ఐ కుడెంట్ ఫైండ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రిగార్డింగ్ వెదర్ ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ డన్, గైస్, ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ ఓవర్, బట్ కాన్స్టిట్యూషనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ దిస్ హ్యావ్ టు సీ. POK also, because that is our country, no? So they have given reservation of some seats. Yeah, they wanted, we can take them anytime, no? See, POK ఇంకో 110+ ఉంటాయండి సీట్స్, ఎందుకంటే POK కూడా ఉంది కాబట్టి. అర్థం కాలేదు. So there are many seats. But those are with Pakistan, but still we do count them in India's tally, because if you don't count them, it's like you are accepting POK as legitimate part of Pakistan. We cannot do it, no. So in that we have reserved some of the seats, as you have told. But again, they will come into implementation when we get that land. As of now, we have to wait and watch, because no elections are there since for Jammu and Kashmir for a long time. So as of now, Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir is not working. Now also we are going for elections for only parliamentary constituencies. In Jammu Kashmir, we have to wait and watch for the assembly elections, what is going to happen there. As of now, difficult situation is there, okay? And BJP has not fielded any candidates in Jammu Kashmir elections, MP elections. Fine. Okay guys, that will be it for this delimitation. And don't forget, it is only by parliament and it is a statutory body. What delimitation? Commission is statutory body, guys. Fine. What else? Okay, just took a two facts and the CBFC, Central Board of Film Certification. Though news logs are only, is it a statutory body or not means? It is a statutory body, guys. Okay, just one line rasko. Ante one line, CBFC, Central Board of Film Certification. Central Board of Film Certification, CBFC. It's a statutory body. A ministry andi? You can guess. IB అంటే Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Act కావాలంటే Cinematograph Act 1952. Cinematograph Act 1952. Last time they asked Food Safety Standard Authority of India. I'll read that question. Okay, that was somewhat tough, guys, because we were debating a lot that question in the exam. Now because of this MDH masala, this and that, so much in news it is, guys. I was searching for any major things. Basically, there is one Sham Benegal committee report. So in that report, they mentioned about don't try to delete any scenes without the consent of the producer, the person who has made the film. And they asked about giving some different. Generally, we have now U by A and A ratings. They asked for some more like 15 plus, 13 plus ratings and APPSC konni points chepparu. So oka line raskondi, okay. Sham Benegal committee, same ade CBFC lone raskondi. Sham Benegal committee. Sham Benegal committee has recommended the government report accept cheyale adi vere vishayam, okay, has recommended that any alteration to the film should be done only by the owner. But not by CBFC. Full stop. It also recommended subdivision of. It also mentioned subdivision of existing categories of certification. UA అంటే హైఫన్ పెట్టుకొని UA should be divided into అంటే UA తెలుసు కదా, యూనివర్సల్ అడల్ట్ అని చెప్పేసి, ఓకే. UA should be divided into UA 12 plus and UA 15 plus. UA 12 plus and UA 15 plus. A category should also include, full stop, A category should also include A-C. A-C అంటే ఏంటి? Films for adults with caution. Film for adults with caution. Next heading, recent changes by Cinematograph Act. Recent changes by Cinematograph Act. Point number one. Separate certificate for films and television, other media. Separate certificate for films and television, comma, other media. Just 1 second. అన్ని సొల్లు పాయింట్స్ ఉన్నాయి ఇందులో, వేస్ట్, పనికిరాని పాయింట్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇంపార్టెంట్ పాయింట్ వస్తే చూద్దాం. ఫిల్మ్ విత్ ఏ సర్టిఫికెట్ will require a separate certificate for exhibition on television. Full stop. ఓకే, ఛాంపియన్ కమిటీ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ కాకుండా వాళ్ళ స్పిరిట్ని ఫాలో చేసి కొన్ని ఇంకో చేంజెస్ వచ్చాయి. మోర్ సర్టిఫికేట్స్, నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, మోర్ సర్టిఫికేట్స్ ఇన్ యూఏ కేటగిరీ. సో అక్కడ హైఫన్ పెట్టేసి యూఏ 7+, 13+, 16+, అంటే యూఏ 7+, యూఏ 13+, యూఏ 16+. ఇంతకుముందు సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇస్తే 10 ఏళ్ళు వ్యాలిడ్గా ఉండేది. నౌ ఇట్ ఈస్ వ్యాలిడ్ ఫర్ ఎవర్. ఓకే, సర్టిఫికేట్స్ గివెన్ బై సిబిఎఫ్సి వ్యాలిడ్ ఆల్వేస్. సర్టిఫికేట్ గివెన్ బై సిబిఎఫ్సి వ్యాలిడ్ ఆల్వేస్. ఓకే గైస్, డన్. ఇంకా వాట్ ఎల్స్? 9(1). Big topics are there, guys. These all laws are there, no? They are very huge topics. Write the heading as women reservation. What is the Hindi name they have used for this, guys? Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam. Okay, that is the Hindi name they have used. ఈ మధ్య హిందీ ఎక్కువ వాడుతున్నారు. ఓకే, నారీ శక్తి వందన్ అధినియం. And what was the amendment for this, guys? So generally it is 106th amendment, but as we know there are bills, then they become amendments. Mari, if they want to confuse you, if they give in the options like this, 128th Constitution Amendment Bill anna okate, because many amendments are proposed, not everything is passed. So what happens, guys, when the bill is passed, it becomes an act. So it becomes 106th Amendment Act. Okay, that is AA Allu Arjun or whatever, guys. Okay, 106th Amendment Act. It's also an act because it is passed by the parliament, guys. Fine. So this amendment, if they want to ask some questions to you, to pose some questions to you, they can say like this. Okay, it brought changes in which parts of the constitution అని చెప్పేసి అడగొచ్చు. So do you know which articles it has amended, guys, or it has introduced also? 4 things, guys. First things first, ఈ amendment ఏం చేసిందంటే, it refers to reservation in which places, guys? Reservations in Lok Sabha, People's House, and legislative assemblies. Don't say Rajya Sabha or MLC, guys. They are not there. already we have 73rd and 74th amendments reservation. In 1992 amendments were passed, they gave reservation for women. Okay, 243D for panchayats, 243 talk about reservations. In that SC/ST reservations are there, women reservation also is there. How much it is, guys? 33% reservation is there for women in the local bodies already. More than 21 states in India have given 50% reservation for women. Okay, that is constitutional requirement, article 243 D and T, but it was not there for this. And the long history of how many times they attempted this. 2010 లో రాజ్యసభ పాస్ చేసింది, లోక్సభ పాస్ చేయలేదు, బిల్ కొలాప్స్ అయిపోతుంది, నరసింహారావు గవర్నమెంట్ ట్రై చేశారు, అవంత కహాని మనకి ఇప్పుడు వద్దు. వాట్ వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ is this particular bill or the act has amended what? First things first, guys, tell me what are the reservation articles in the constitution? What are those? First one, for Lok Sabha it is 330, right? Ante Lok Sabhalo SC/ST seats are reserved. SC is reserved for SC/ST for the Lok Sabha here, guys. Lok Sabhalo SC/ST seat reservation 84 and 47 are there. Fine. And for the states, depending on their populations, we provide the reservation for SC/STs. Then what about article 332, guys? It talks about in the state legislative assemblies reservation for SC/ST based on population. Then we have what? Do we have any kind of provision where we want to end the reservations? Yes. Article 334 says that these reservations are valid for 10 years from the commencement of the constitution. Commencement of the constitution. 10 years. But as we know, guys, 104th amendment 2019 has what it has done, guys. It has changed this to 80 years. Every 10 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and APPSC. 104th amendment was the last amendment which has increased the number of years to 80 years from the commencement. Means 1950 plus 80, it is 2030. 2030లో ఏం చేస్తారు, మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు ఇంకో అక్కడ అమెండ్మెంట్ చేసి ఇది 90 years అంటారు ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, ఎవ్రీ 10 years వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు increase the lifetime of reservations, guys. So these three articles are talking about reservation for SC/STs. So what we have to do? Capital add చేసి ఏం చేయాలి? Women ki kuda reservation ఇవ్వాలి. So 330 capital A, 332 capital A, 334 capital A. These three articles were additionally brought in the constitution. Wherever they wrote SC/ST, separate article they wrote and they told women reservation in the Lok Sabha, women reservation in the assemblies, and these reservations not 10 years. They have told that for women reservation idi ikkada raskoali, idi SC/ST ki 10 ఏళ్ళు. But for the women reservation, what they have told is since the commencement, ante what they have told here, delimitation commission, ante after the census delimitation commission happens, the women reservation will be valid okay after the census, after next delimitation, and they will be valid for a period of 15 years from the commencement of reservation. Ante enti, reservation start chesina year nunchi manam count chesi 15 ఏళ్ళు వరకు ఉంటుంది రిజర్వేషన్ అని చెప్పేసి చెప్పారు. ఓకే, సో అండర్స్టాండ్ దిస్ పాయింట్స్, గైస్. దే విల్ ఫ్రేమ్ obvious things everybody knows. That is not where you can score the marks. Okay, so please make sure you write those tedasing points. Fine. So what is the point here, guys? The reservations are valid for 15 years. They will start when? They will start after delimitation, after next census. Next census. Last census జరగలే ఇంకా. ఓకే, సో లాస్ట్ సెన్సస్ జరగలే కాబట్టి వీ హ్యావ్ టు వెయిట్ అండ్ వాచ్ వెన్ ద నెక్స్ట్ సెన్సస్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్, గైస్. ఆ సెన్సస్ తర్వాత వచ్చే డీలిమిటేషన్ నుంచి ఆ రోజు ఎప్పుడైతే డీలిమిటేషన్ తర్వాత రిజర్వేషన్ ఇస్ వ్యాలిడ్ ఫ్రమ్ టుడే అని చెప్పేస్తే ఆ డేట్ నుంచి 15 years వరకు ఇట్ ఈస్ వ్యాలిడ్. వీ కాల్ దిస్ యాజ్ సన్సెట్ క్లాజ్. Sunset clause is there in many laws all over the world. Sunset clause is a clause. Sunset, Sandhya. Okay, what does it mean? Sunset means here the expiration of the provisions of the law. That means every law may not have it. Certain laws have sunset clause, means they say when this is going to expire. That is called sunset clause. And now a question comes, how they will twist you in the examination hall. If I want to increase this for further 15 years, they will say గవర్నమెంట్ బై నోటిఫికేషనా లేకపోతే పార్లమెంట్ బై లానా? హౌ కెన్ వి ఎక్స్టెండ్ దిస్ ఫర్ 5-15 years అంటే లాజిక్ సేస్ yes, if I want to extend more than 15 years, only parliament can extend by law. Parliament can extend the quantum of reservation, the time of reservation for beyond 15 years as per a law. సో కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్లో వాళ్ళు చెప్పేశారు యాజ్ పర్ లా అని చెప్పేసి ఒక సింపుల్ లా తీసుకొచ్చేసి ఇంకో 15 ఏళ్ళు వాళ్ళు చేయొచ్చు. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద ఏరియాస్ ఆఫ్ రిజర్వేషన్. నౌ వాట్ ఎల్స్ దే హ్యావ్ డన్? సో a new article, no new article, existing article 239AA. What is this AA? What is this, guys? For Delhi, we have special provisions. So in this particular article, there is a clause B. A clause B lo oka word add chesi akkada రిజర్వేషన్స్ కేవలం ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీకి మాత్రమే కాదు, విమెన్కి కూడా ఉంటాయని చెప్పేసి దే డిడ్ నాట్ యాడ్ ఎనీ ఆర్టికల్, దే డిడ్ నాట్ యాడ్ ఎనీ క్లాస్, దే జస్ట్ మోడిఫైడ్ ఆర్టికల్ 239AA గైస్. ఓన్లీ మోడిఫికేషన్ హ్యాపెండ్ హియర్. కాబట్టి 3 new articles, 1 modification happened. For Delhi also reservation is there for women guys. So understand these points. Okay. International conventions కూడా అడగొచ్చు. అంటే కన్వెన్షన్ ఆన్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎలిమినేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్ అగేన్స్ట్ ఉమెన్, CEDAW అని చెప్పేసి. జనరల్లీ వెన్ యూ రైట్ ఎస్సే ఆన్ హ్యూమన్ రైట్స్, జనరల్లీ వీ ఆస్క్ యూ టు రీడ్ దిస్ గైస్. ఇంటర్నేషనల్ కోవెనెంట్ ఆన్ సివిల్ పొలిటికల్ రైట్స్, ఇంటర్నేషనల్ కోవెనెంట్ ఆన్ సోషియో ఎకనామిక్ రైట్స్, ఇండియా హ్యావ్ సైన్డ్ ఆల్ దీస్ అగ్రిమెంట్స్. CEDAW కూడా ఇండియా సైన్ చేసింది. కాబట్టి whenever you sign international agreements, you will try to ratify them by bringing laws in the parliament guys. Okay, you have to implement international treaties and agreements. Parliament can make law even in the state list also guys. Nothing wrong with that. We have done that. When we signed the UN convention on corruption, we have brought this ombudsman called as Lokpal Lokayuktas Act guys. Whenever you sign international treaties and agreements, you bring ratification. Ratification means what here guys? Signing is not same as ratifying. Signing means it shows your intention to follow the particular provision. Ratification means what? You bring a law to implement that particular agreement guys. So ratifying means you have to bring legislation. So India has done that for many cases. So we have some binding obligations. When we signed the ILO convention on the worst forms of child labor, it came in the UPSC exam guys. 138, 182 and చెప్పేసి ఉంటాయి conventions. Recently India signed which of the following ILO conventions, they asked. Worst forms of child labor, minimum age, this India has signed. 2016 amendment happened to the Child Labor Act. We have told that not only children from the age of 14 years, below 14 years can be exempted from hazardous work. 14 to 18 also, those who are considered as adolescent. Even this adolescent category, generally Child Labor Act 1986 we have guys. 2016 లో అమెండ్మెంట్ చేశారు. అమెండ్మెంట్ చేసి ప్రిన్సిపల్ మెయిన్ యాక్ట్ చైల్డ్ లేబర్ యాక్ట్ పేరు మార్చేశారు. ప్రిన్సిపల్ యాక్ట్ మీన్స్ ద మెయిన్ లెజిస్లేషన్. చైల్డ్ లేబర్ యాక్ట్ 1986 was amended by saying it is Child and Adolescent Labor Act, Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 guys. Because 14 to 18 a new category was brought. It means below 18 years, no hazardous work is permitted guys. Not just below 14 years. If they ask as per the constitution, below 14 years. As per the law, it is below 18 years, no hazardous work is permitted for children. Twist in the story is they reduce hazardous works to very few guys. That's a different story. Okay, and what else is there? What about children who want to work? Okay, if you are below 14 also. What about harmless work or any other work? Like let's say they permitted 3 categories guys. What are the categories here? 2 categories, no? Anybody from the home-based occupations and also audio visual entertainment industry. These people can work, these children can work, but only after the school timings and in the holidays. 86 Act mentioned the number of hours. 2016 Act has removed the number of hours. That's a criticism against 2016 Act. That 86 Act has specified the number of hours a child can work. But 2016 Act has eliminated the number of hours. As a result, we don't know that how many hours a child is working after coming back from school Working till night, midnight, or early morning, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we have no idea. It may affect the children's progress also, guys. So criticisms kuda unnai ikkada. Okay, inko criticism enti ikkada, they have reduced the number of hazardous work to just a few. 80 plus undevi avanni tagginchesi hardly oka less than 6 ento unnayandi, avi hazardous works. Ivi kuda modify cheyochu. Who can modify? Not parliament, executive. The list of hazardous works can be modified by the executive అని చెప్పేసి చైల్డ్ లేబర్ యాక్ట్ 2016లో మెన్షన్ చేశారు. బై అన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ అనౌన్స్మెంట్ ఆర్ నోటిఫికేషన్ దిస్ హజార్డస్ లిస్ట్ ఆల్సో కెన్ బి రిడ్యూస్డ్. సో ఇవి ఇంపార్టెంట్ ప్రొవిజన్స్ ఆఫ్ 2016 చైల్డ్ లేబర్ యాక్ట్. ఇండియా హ్యాస్ సైన్డ్ చైల్డ్ లేబర్ ILO కన్వెన్షన్స్ ఆన్ వర్స్ట్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ చైల్డ్ లేబర్ అండ్ మినిమమ్ ఏజ్. చూస్తే అన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ ఏమనిపిస్తాయి, కానీ ఈ రెండు ఇంపార్టెంట్. మినిమమ్ ఏజ్ and worst forms of child labor. These two conventions India has signed off. ILO, what is ILO? International Labour Organization. Is it an agency of UNO? Yes, it is an agency of UNO. In environment you will read about IPCC also. IPCC is also a body which is formed by whom? IPCC is UN agency or not? Yes, it is. It has become UN agency. No, it is, guys. It is formed by the World Meteorological Organization kada, IPCC. The UPSC UNEP and WMO will start it. What UPSC asked is, what was difficult when we wrote the exam 10 years ముందు అడిగారు అనమాట. క్వశ్చన్ చాలా డిఫికల్ట్ ఉండే మాకు, ఎందుకంటే we know about IPCC but not the details. It gives reports, assessment reports, but whether it does its own research or not, we have no idea at that time. Now we know it does not conduct its own research, rather all countries' reports it will compile and finally give its own assessment. That means IPCC does not conduct its own independent research. That is the learning here, guys. Okay, kahan se puchte hai questions exam lo. Okay, and they will ask like who formed this WMO and UNEP. These two organizations have formed IPCC. Why I am asking, because one year I made a silly mistake in the exam. Okay, because I knew, but that's what happens, no? Traffic, who started this organization and JPC, they asked. చదవలేదా? సరే, ఏదో ఒక WWF and IACN. So same options kind of were there. So I don't know what happened to my mind. It happens to anyone, of course. WWF, IACN will start at this, guys. So they gave some other option. I think WWF and UNEP something they gave, and I ticked it. And I cursed myself for taking the wrong option. So please make sure geography, environment you focus, guys. Especially environment. Ministry of Environment and Forests will give annual document, which again is 200 plus pages. Most of it is not useful. Scan and try to find any new environmental technique which is being used. Let's say geotextiles, steel slag, ఇవన్నీ పైరోటెక్నిక్స్, ఇవన్నీ కొత్త కొత్తవి వాడుతున్నారు ఈ మధ్య. సో ఆ వర్డ్స్ ఎగ్జామ్లో వస్తున్నాయి. 2020లో అడిగారు, 21లో అడిగారు. స్టీల్ స్లాగ్, సిమెంట్స్, దే హ్యావ్ ఆస్క్డ్ ఆల్రెడీ దట్ క్వశ్చన్. జియోటెక్స్టైల్స్, దే విల్ ఆస్క్ ఇన్ ద ఎగ్జామ్. ఇన్ ద రోడ్స్ we use geotextiles for good permeability, guys. Make sure you follow all latest scientific developments with respect to environment, climate change, pollutants, national clean air AQI index. You see, ambient air quality monitoring ala chestaru chudandi, ఏ గ్యాసెస్ కవర్ అవుతున్నాయి చూడండి. ఇంకా what else is there? National clean air program, mains question already they have asked. Mains question it was asked. Okay, prelims also they can ask it again. See, National Ganga Council, Namami Gange program, they will ask in the exams, guys. Chala adagachu ivanni questions. Integration of environment and culture also is found. Like Ganga on the Uttarakhand is there, Devbhumi. There a glacial outburst. What is it called? There is one term I forgot. Glacial outburst. That's what word is, రావట్లే మైండ్లో. అవలాంచ్. ఈ గ్లేషియల్ అవుట్బర్స్ట్ ఉంటుంది ఒకటి. సడన్ గ్లేషియల్ అవుట్బర్స్ట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ అండ్ అది చూడండి. దుబాయ్లో వచ్చిన రెయిన్స్లో I made a video on that also in detail. Many people lazily are blaming artificial rains. Nonsense. Artificial rains cannot create that much amount of volume of rainwater in a short span of time. There I mentioned cut-off low. The term is in news. Cut-off low ante cut-off low pressure. Generally low pressure creates all these rains. Cut-off low ante jet streams will flow, as we know, from the western to the eastern hemisphere. As we know, jet streams will flow. One low pressure is cut off from this jet streams and forms over, let's say Dubai. Let's say Dubai. This low pressure created here, generally if jet streams are there, this low pressure is made numb by these jet streams. Jet streams దూరంగా low pressure create అయిపోతుంది. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ లో ప్రెషర్ షిప్లో యాంకర్ మనం పడేసినప్పుడు షిప్ అనేది స్టేబుల్గా ఉంటుంది, కొంచెం అటు ఇటు ఇలా ఉంటుంది తప్ప ఆల్మోస్ట్ స్టేబుల్గా ఉంటుంది యాంకర్ పెడితే. ఈ లో ప్రెషర్ కూడా అంతే ఉంటుంది, గాలి ఉండదు ఏముండదు, అక్కడే లో ప్రెషర్ క్రియేట్ అయిపోతుంది ఎక్కువ కాలం. కొంపలు అంటుకుంటే, ఎందుకంటే పక్కన సీ అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి ఫుల్ వాటర్ మాయిశ్చర్ని మింగేస్తూ ఉంటాయి. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ లో ప్రెషర్లో మాయిశ్చర్ కంటెంట్ ఈస్ దేర్ and clouds are built up in a short span of time and the clouds will not be able to hold. Condensation happens and the entire volume a balloon ki chillu pettinattuga burst అయిపోతుంది short span of time. No country in the world can withstand that amount of water. No city in the world is built to withstand that volume of water in a short span of time. Cut off low pressure, that is the news, guys. So alantivi chudandi. Hopefully your preparation is on point. Of course, nobody can say before the exam ki pura ho gaya. Everybody has that same tendency. So the only thing is revise, guys. That's why we say preparation of UPSC will not start few months before the exam. It's a continuous process. It starts from the day you join the coaching. And Praveen, yesterday some students of our batch were there, today they are not there. Why? Next day we have 3 more days of classes. Tomorrow economy is there, then we have, that is, until if you have any personal work, I don't want to pass any judgment, guys. I respect that fact, family issues or health issues, but ala kaakunda casually ravatledante, that shows that not them I am saying, any other persons, that shows that they probably not interested in clearing the exam. Ardhamainda? So make sure, guys, that seriousness has to be there. టైం తక్కువ ఉంది కాబట్టి లెక్చర్లు ఎక్కువ ఇవ్వదలుచుకోలేదు. సరే, లెట్స్ గో టు అవర్ పాయింట్, గైస్. అన్నెసరీ అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ టూ లేట్ ఆల్సో టు గివ్ ఆల్ దీస్ లెక్చర్స్ నౌ. ఫైన్, బట్ మేక్ షూర్, గైస్, seriousness, commitment has to be there for your anything, because the people I see, whether it is in other states like Odisha or North Delhi, they are like studying like mad for the exam, guys. Commitment is there. సో క్యార్లెస్నెస్ ఉండకండి. నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ రాస్తున్నా కదా అని చెప్పేసి లైట్ తీసుకోవడం అలాంటివి ఉండకూడదు. యూ హ్యావ్ టు బీ ఆన్ ద గో. యూ హ్యావ్ టు బీ ఆల్వేస్ మోటివేటెడ్, ప్యాషనెట్ అండ్ ఆల్ దట్. విరాట్ కోహ్లీ లాగా ఫుల్ ఊపు మీద ఉండి మొత్తం అన్న హౌ హీస్ లైక్ వన్స్ యూ విన్, యానిమేటెడ్ లైక్ ఎనీథింగ్. అరే, ఏ మ్యాన్ ఆఫ్ విరాట్ కోహ్లీ స్టాచర్ హ్యాస్ వన్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇన్ లైఫ్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ అఫ్ కోర్స్ RCB కప్. దట్ ఈస్ అఫ్కోర్స్ నాట్ వెరీ థిక్, బట్ హీ హాస్ వన్, బట్ స్టిల్ గెట్స్ ఎక్సైటెడ్ ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ సింగిల్ వికెట్ అండ్ బాల్. Dhoni's eyes, you see how he became, he has won everything in his life, Dhoni, but still it saddens him to lose the match or not. That sense of commitment towards what we do, guys. So if you want something like IAS or IPS, you should be very much, disciplined, not motivated. Disciplined you should be. Then only, these things should not be feel like a task. Amma classlo vinala ante, faculty is doing time pass, they don't come to the class. It's your right, guys. But if you're learning something new, so understand and realize, guys. Chalo, let's chalo ante not outside here. And also, guys, there are some reports these years. UPSC is not asking a lot of reports like global gender gap, let's say world inequality index, gender inequality. Gender ki మూడు ఉన్నాయండి. ఒకటి ఏమో global gender gap. Who gives it? World Economic Forum. World Economic Forum gives gender gap report. Gender inequality index is given by UNDP. UNDP. Gender parity index is given by UNESCO. ఇలా చెప్పి ఎగ్జామ్ సెంటర్ బయట లోపలికి వెళ్ళాం, అదే వచ్చింది క్వశ్చన్. That is exactly same experience happened to us. Okay, so make sure until before when we used to study, we used to have like fixed criteria, reforms, tribes, okay, reports. చదువుకొని వెళ్ళే వాళ్ళం, క్వశ్చన్స్ వచ్చేవి అలా ఫార్మ్ లైక్ వే ఆఫ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ UPSC యూస్ టు ఆస్క్. నౌ థింగ్స్ ఆర్ ర్యాండమ్ ఇన్ నేచర్. That means you have to have a broad perspective of different things, guys. And in the main topics, you need to have some in-depth differentiation. Okay, something different from what others also know. So in this, like this sunset clause, generally we get confused in the examination hall. 10 na 15 na అని చెప్పేసి. Since when we will not focus? Since when? Not since the bill has been passed. They will instantly then. Since the Reservation Act has been passed, it is and చెప్పేసి one line they will put there, guys, because you will overlook the points. No, since the commencement of the reservation 15 years you have to count. They will again put a line, the government, okay, by president by notification can enhance this 15 years అని చెప్పేసి ఇస్తారు. No, parliament by law can enhance అని చెప్పేసి రాయాలి. ఓకేనా? సో ఇది ఒకటి ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ అండి. ఇంకోటి అంటే ఒకసారి BNS అవి చూసుకోండి, చాలా ప్రొవిజన్స్ ఉన్నాయండి. BNS, భారతీయ న్యాయ సంహిత, భారతీయ సాక్ష్య అండ్ నాగరిక్ సురక్ష. ఇన్ దీస్ 3 things, yesterday I told you about community service. No, community service కాకుండా there are some provisions of zero FIR. They did not explicitly mention that, but zero FIR means what? If an offense has been committed at one particular place, you can file the complaint in any police station. That is called zero FIR. And one more case is coming in my mind, Lalita Kumari versus state of Uttar Pradesh. It's an old case, guys. Section 154 of IPC ప్రకారం ఎవరైనా అంటే ఆ చిన్న అమ్మాయి ఆమె కేసు బుక్ చేయమంటే పోలీసులు అసలు పట్టించుకోరు అనమాట, సీరియస్ అఫెన్సెస్ కూడా. కోర్ట్ ఏం చెప్పిందంటే, జనరల్గా గైస్, if there is an offense for which it is like 3 to 7 years మధ్యలో, 3 to 7 years మధ్యలో అంత అఫెన్స్ ఉంటే ప్రిలిమినరీ ఎంక్వైరీ చేయాలి అని FIR కోసం అని చెప్పేసి ఒక పాయింట్. అంటే ప్రిలిమినరీ ఎంక్వైరీ చేసి FIR ఫైల్ చేయాలి. 3 years to 7 years అంత అఫెన్స్ ఆ టైం ఉంటే బిఫోర్ యూ ఫైల్ FIR, ఓకే, యూ కెన్ డూ ప్రిలిమినరీ ఎంక్వైరీ, నిజంగా జరిగిందా లేదా అఫెన్స్, కేసు FIR ఫైల్ చేయొచ్చా, బికాజ్ FIR షుడ్ బి కంపల్సరీలీ బి యాక్టెడ్ అపాన్. That is called first information report. Complaint is written in police diary, it's a different thing. I also find many complaints in the police diary. But when I file first information report, that has to be acted upon by the authorities, investigation authorities. For an offense of 3 to 7 years, what happens is you can just do a preliminary inquiry and you can file FIR. But beyond 7 years, the offense is like very serious offense. Beyond 7 years, without preliminary inquiry also, FIR can be booked because it is a cognizable offense. Lalita Kumari case law court has told the same thing. Very important point, guys. As per section 154 of CRPC, if police are prima facie convinced that it's a cognizable offense, an FIR can be registered without preliminary inquiry. Okay, 154 of IPC prakaram, you have to, ante if it is a cognizable offense, without preliminary inquiry also, police has to register the FIR. This is Lalita Kumari, state of Uttar Pradesh case, guys. Okay, ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఇంకో ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఏం అడగొచ్చు అంటే ఇందులో EFIR, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్, భారతీయ నాగరిక్ సురక్ష మెన్షన్స్ అబౌట్ EFIR, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ FIR. We can also file FIR, మనం కూడా ఎలక్ట్రానికల్లీ FIR మనం ఫైల్ చేయొచ్చు. కానీ after filing electronic FIR, within 3 days we have to go to the station and sign it. భారతీయ నాగరిక సురక్షలో, ఓకే, EFIR, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ FIR మనం ఫైల్ చేయొచ్చు, కానీ 3 daysలో మనం వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ఫిజికల్గా ప్రెజెంట్ అయ్యి సైన్ చేయాలి. అర్జెంట్ ఉంది కాబట్టి EFIR మనం ఫైల్ చేయొచ్చు. EFIR, ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ FIR. జీరో FIR, ఓకే, ప్రొవిజన్స్ అంటే భారతీయ నాగరిక సురక్ష మేక్స్ ఇట్ కంపల్సరీ దట్ zero FIR shall be permitted. Police cannot deny to file FIR. Zero FIR. Okay. ఇంకో పాయింట్ గుర్తొస్తుంది, ఎక్స్ పార్టీ కేస్ తెలుసా మీకు? ఎక్స్ పార్టీ, EXPART. లెట్ మీ కన్ఫర్మ్ గైస్, బికాస్ ఇప్పుడు మీరు తప్పు చేశారు, ఇండియా నుంచి పారిపోయారు. Principles of natural justice say that, I told you yesterday 3 points. In your class I wrote, some other class I wrote. Natural justice, not your class, some other class I wrote. First point, when I said due process of law, principles of natural justice, first point is that, again, it's not defined anywhere. It is natural justice principles are not codified anywhere. We understand some basic points. First one is what, guys? Every person shall have the right to be heard. తప్పు చేసేవాళ్ళతో నువ్వు చెప్పాలి కదా, అవకాశం ఇవ్వాలా వద్దా? సినిమాలాగా నేను చెప్పేది వినండి అంటే, ఇట్స్ ఆల్సో వన్ ఐ హ్యావ్ సమ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ విత్ సమ్ మూవీస్ కట్ ట్రోప్. ఎవ్రీ మూవీ హ్యాస్ సమ్ ట్రోప్స్ గైస్. అంటే ఏంటి? దే విల్ సే 100 times, అరే నేను చెప్పేది వినండి అని చెప్తే అవతల వాళ్ళు వినరు అనమాట. దే విల్ సే నేను చెప్పేది వినండి అని చెప్పేసి 10 సార్లు చెప్తారు, కానీ ఏం చెప్పాలో 1 line చెప్పరు. చూసారా సినిమాలు ఇది? అరే నేను చెప్పేది కాస్త వినండి అంటే, అదే జస్ట్ 1 line యూ టెల్, నో యూ ఆర్ టెలింగ్ 10 times ద సేమ్ పాయింట్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్ గైస్. అంటే అఫ్ కోర్స్ no person, అంటే every person has the right to be heard means, without, you cannot directly go and punish someone just like that. You give the opportunity for them. Article 22 clause 1 says everybody has a right to be defended by a legal practitioner. That is our fundamental right, guys. That means now, of course, in Preventive Detention Act it is not applicable, it's a different thing. 22 clause 3 says what? 21(1)(2) are not applicable for preventive detention cases. Did we discuss PD yesterday? It is fine, okay. Teaching multiple classes, so I'm forgetting where I'm teaching what, okay. So that means guys, 22 clause 3 of course PD Act కింద అరెస్ట్ చేస్తే మీకు పైన చెప్పిన ప్రొటెక్షన్స్ ఉండవని చెప్పారు. అయితే ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఆఫ్ న్యాచురల్ జస్టిస్ ఏమంటున్నాయంటే, ఎవ్రీ పర్సన్ హ్యాస్ ద రైట్ టు బి హర్డ్. సెకండ్ పాయింట్ ఈస్, ఓకే, no person shall be a judge in his own cause. Like Ranjan Gogoi sitting in his own case against sexual harassment allegations by a intern, guys. Later, of course, because of criticism, he has stepped down. No person should be judged in his own cause. Third one is what? Authority should act in good faith, bona fide. Bona fide means don't have bad intentions before hearing the case itself. Like, how can you do that? Be fair. You should act with not mala fide intentions, bad intentions. You should have always good intentions. So good faith and take it a bona fide. These 3 are generally considered as principles of natural justice. Ex parte injunction here means what happens here? Bharatiya, let me just confirm here, guys. Ex parte orders, yes, it is there. Ex parte orders ante Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha lo em chesarante, Nyaya Samhita, whatever they have done here is, if any person has done some crime, he is not available, he is running away from this place, without hearing him also you can punish him. Are you understanding or not? Or you just write? I will dictate, guys. Maybe I made some notes on it or not. I didn't write the notes. అంటే మీకు అర్థం కింద కాలేదు. How to search here, guys? Any option to search? It's not showing any option to search. Safari waste browser, సఫారీ కార్ అయినా బాగుంటుందా లేదా? ఎనీబడి డ్రివెన్ సఫారీ? హౌ ఇస్ ఇట్? గుడ్ గైస్. బేర్ యాక్ట్లో సెర్చ్ ఆప్షన్ రావట్లేదు ఇక్కడ. డౌన్లోడ్ చేస్తే వస్తుందా? బట్ జనరల్లీ బ్రౌజర్లో వస్తాయి కదా. అక్కడనా? అదేంటి ఇక్కడనా? Freeze the overseas asset, ex parte orders, or just remember like this, guys. Ex parte orders can be given ante without hearing the person, the case can be heard and decided అని చెప్పేసి గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి ex parte ante. Okay, I think you understood, but your expressions are not showing. ఇక్కడ క్లిక్ చేయమంటారా? ఇక్కడ పైన రావట్లే కదా. ఎక్కడ క్లిక్ చేయాలి? ఇక్కడనా? దట్ ఈస్ ఎయిర్ డ్రాప్, నో? Find in the page. Very good. But I don't know what these guys have given here. ఇక్కడ కూడా కనిపించింది. Ex parte trial and conviction of fugitives. We have Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018 kada. PMLA Act లో I'll discuss. If at all I miss something in today's class, guys, ఒక్కసారి యూట్యూబ్ అమిగోస్లో వెళ్ళి మొత్తం వీడియో చూడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, పీపీటీస్ వెనకాల ఉంటాయి, టాపిక్స్ ఉన్నాయి అందులో, కొంచెం పాజ్ చేసి చూసుకోండి. ఓకే, time constraints, I have some time constraints, guys. Okay, so ex parte trial and conviction of fugitives, a special provision has been inserted in this newly brought BNS. If a person is declared proclaimed offender, okay, so what happens here in this case, and is evading trial with no possibility of arrest in the future, all nonsense is going on. Okay, technology. The court will not stop the trial in any manner. It will proceed in any way as if the absconder was present and pronounce the judgment. So this new thing has been brought, guys. Ex parte injunction or trial in absentia also is there here. A new section has been brought in this for persons who are declared proclaimed offenders. Trial in the absence of the accused will start after 3 months from the date of framing charges. Okay, the person who is tried in absentia, if he is absconding, a lawyer will be provided by the state for his defense. This is also there. Removing sedition, according to misleading statement, because section 150 has brought back sedition. By removing the word sedition, I told you yesterday, they retain the same contents, 3 years, 7 years maximum punishment to lifetime imprisonment is there. See here, 3 to 7 years, 3 unda akada leda. Okay, 7 years and liable to fine and lifetime also is there. These guys have done very bad work in this article. One more thing, guys, terrorism acts lo define chesaru. ఇందులో ట్రబుల్సమ్ పాయింట్ ఒకటి ఏమైందంటే, టెర్రరిజం యాక్ట్స్లో దోస్ హు ఆర్ ఎండేంజరింగ్ ద ఎకనామిక్ సెక్యూరిటీ ఆఫ్ ద కంట్రీ అని చెప్పేసి యాడ్ చేశారు. దే హ్యావ్ నాట్ గివెన్ హియర్ ఆల్సో. వాట్ నాన్ సెన్స్ దిస్ గైస్ విల్ రైట్ ఇన్ ద పేపర్, గైస్. అంటే టెర్రరిజం కేసెస్లో ఇప్పుడు ఈ మధ్య అడాని కేసు వచ్చింది కాబట్టి రేపొద్దున మనం కూడా అలా రిపోర్ట్స్ ఇచ్చేసి దానివల్ల ఇండియన్ ఎకనామిక్ సిచ్యువేషన్ దెబ్బతినేస్తే అది కూడా టెర్రరిజం కిందకి వస్తుందంట, గైస్. ఓకే, ఐల్ జస్ట్ షో యూ హియర్. Somebody harming the economic interests of the country. పోయిందా స్క్రీన్? అంటే దానికి కూడా బ్రేక్ కావాలనుకుంటాను. Somebody who endangers economic security of the country is also considered a terrorist, guys, with now on, from now onwards. Okay, what's the time? 9:38. We will discuss all election things in one go. Defamation, delimitation, contempt of court అయిపోయింది. Okay. This sweep and elections things we will see after the break. EC Act also we will see. Data Protection Act we will see. And then what is left here? Just write, we will go for break at 9:45, guys. We have 6 minutes more. Let us write some notes on that Bihar government has done caste survey kada. So దాని లీగల్ ప్రొవిజన్స్ రాసుకుందాం. జనరల్లీ గైస్ కాస్ట్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ విచ్ లిస్ట్? యూనియన్ లిస్ట్ ఆర్ స్టేట్ లిస్ట్ ఆర్ కాంకరెంట్ లిస్ట్, గైస్? కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్, సారీ కాస్ట్ అంటున్నా, సెన్సస్ ఇన్ విచ్ లిస్ట్, గైస్? Union list. Then how can Bihar government do caste survey then? How can they do caste census? The answer is economic and social planning is mentioned in concurrent list. For the sake of economic social planning, we are doing caste survey అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళు జస్టిఫై చేశారు. కోర్టులో వెళ్ళింది కేసు. సెన్సస్ ఈస్ డన్ బై యూనియన్ గవర్నమెంట్ కదా, హౌ కెన్ దే డూ కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్? మీన్స్ వాట్ దే హ్యావ్ టోల్డ్, భయ్యా ఫర్ అవర్ ఎకనామిక్ ప్లానింగ్ పర్పసెస్ వీ నీడ్ ద బ్రేక్ డౌన్ ఆఫ్ ద సోషియో ఎకనామిక్ కండిషన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద వేరియస్ సెక్షన్స్. ఫర్ దాట్ వీ కెన్ డూ కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్ అని చెప్పేసి వాళ్ళ హైకోర్టు ఒప్పుకోలేదు, కానీ మళ్ళీ సుప్రీంకోర్ట్ ఓకే చేసింది ఆ పాయింట్స్. ఈ పాయింట్స్ రాసుకుందాం. ఓకే, సో వాట్ యు రైట్ హియర్ గైస్, basically right, caste census you heading you put, and there you write line by line, let us write only important points. Census is statutory process. Census is statutory process. Statutory process governed by the Census Act 1948. Governed by the Census Act 1948. 1948. It is mentioned in Union List. It is mentioned in the Union List. Union List. Next line. Every census until 1931 had data on castes. Had data on castes. Next line. From 1951 to 2011. From 1951 to 2011, data on SC/ST was published but not other castes. Data on SC/ST was published but not other castes. Okay, next line. Socio-economic caste census was conducted in 2011. Socio-economic caste census was conducted in 2011, but the report has not been released. But the report has not been released. Has not been released. ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు ఏమన్నారంటే హార్డ్లీ 10 days ట్రైనింగ్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు వచ్చారు, ఏదో సరిగా రాసుకోలేదు వాళ్ళు డేటా, వాళ్ళకు క్యాస్ట్ సబ్ క్యాస్ట్ జాతి అర్థం కాలేదు కాబట్టి ఎన్యూమరేటర్స్ ఇప్పటి వరకు రిలీజ్ చేయలేదు. సో చాలా సంవత్సరాల నుంచి వీళ్ళు అడిగారు అనమాట, బీహార్ గవర్నమెంట్, వెస్ట్ బెంగాల్ అందరూ అడిగారు, వీ వాంట్ రిపోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ సెన్సస్. అప్పుడే మాకు తెలుస్తుంది డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ ఎలా ఉంది, బికాస్ రిజర్వేషన్స్ ఇవ్వాల్సింది 15 clause 4 is there, 16 clause 4 is there. So that means 46 article GPSP is there. It is the responsibility of the state to provide the welfare to all its sections. But how to provide welfare when I don't have the data about the composition of the population depending on the castes? That is why even Nitish Kumar has been asking for many years. So what they have done, they told get lost, and finally they themselves started doing the caste census guys here. So what you write here is the same point what I told you guys. Economic and social planning comes under concurrent list. Economic and social planning comes under concurrent list. Hence Bihar government conducted caste census. Not even that, only 1931 was the last census where we had the entire idea about the caste. After independence, till now we don't have any caste census of the entire caste in India. The only thing here is we have Mandal Commission, which has given us the report of the caste system. But there is no pan-India survey after that. అంటే officially చెప్పాలంటే మండల్ కమిషన్, అది నాట్ అన్ యాక్ట్ బై ద పార్లమెంట్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్ గైస్. కాబట్టి ఇండియా డస్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ ఎన్ అఫీషియల్ సెన్సస్ ఆన్ ది casts of the entire country since 1931. What I gave there guys, SC/ST data we have. What we don't have, other castes we don't have. Inkoti mains lo you learn about those cases of Nagaraj, Union of India, Jarnail Singh, Lakshmi Narayan Gupta cases. మీకు గుర్తుంటే నాగరాజ్ కేసులో క్రీమీ లేయర్ ఫర్ ది SC/ST ఇన్ రిజర్వేషన్ ఆఫ్ ప్రమోషన్ ఇన్ జాబ్స్ అంటారు. వాళ్ళు అక్కడ ఇంకో రాసిన ట్రబుల్సమ్ పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే డెమాన్స్ట్రేట్ ద బ్యాక్వర్డ్నెస్ ఆఫ్ ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీ, డేటా ఉండమని అంటారనమాట. అక్కడ పెద్ద ఇష్యూ వచ్చేస్తుంది. అరే అసలు ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీ అనే వాళ్ళు ఆల్రెడీ ఇండియాలో డిస్క్రిమినేట్ చేయబడ్డారు, దానికి మళ్ళీ డేటా ప్రిపేర్ చేయాలా అనే క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చింది. కాబట్టి దాని 2018లో కోర్ట్ రెక్టిఫై చేసింది సుప్రీంకోర్టు. చెప్పేసి ఏం చెప్పింది, సరేనండి ఎస్సీ ఎస్టీ రిజర్వేషన్ ప్రమోషన్లో జాబ్స్లో వాళ్ళకు క్రిమినల్ లేయర్ పెట్టండి, కానీ no need to demonstrate the backwardness of SC/ST, because we assume already in India that SC/ST are discriminated, they are backward, we don't need to have separate data for them. For OBCs we need to have data because I should know who is cornering the benefits. But now an important shift is going to come. A 9-judge bench is yet to pronounce its verdict on whether we can subcategorize the SC/STs or not. That we are waiting for the judgment, guys. Recently the case happened, no, Supreme Court has reserved its order, we are waiting for the final orders. Subcategorization cheyachu ante appudu chudali India lo em avutundo, okay, because some, as we all know, there are forward among the backward who are taking away all the benefits. Okay, 9:46, just few seconds guys, I will see if I have missed anything, otherwise we'll go for break. Okay, I'm not giving the numbers like entry 69, entry 45, మరి అంత అడగకపోవచ్చు ఎగ్జామ్లో. ఎంట్రీస్, how can we remember 100 entries are there in union list, guys? 61 are there in the state list, 52 are there in the concurrent list. How many can anybody remember? Unless it is very much in news, I won't recommend all those things. Even in the classes when I discuss about sections of RP Act, only a few sections are important, like 8 clause 3, etc. 62 clause 5 yesterday I told, 33 clause 7 I will tell after the break, 52 clause I will tell. They are just in news. If you don't remember also, tick tock, it's okay. Conceptual part is more important. Okay, so acha, that who is that caste registrar general hai na, which ministry is the nodal ministry for caste in India? No, that is different, guys. I am talking about see, there are some nodal ministries in India for some purposes. For the interest of SCs we have social justice, for the interest of STs we have Ministry of Tribal Affairs. For official languages, Home Ministry will be the in charge. For citizenship, Home Ministry. Disaster management, Home Ministry. ఇలా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి నోడల్ మినిస్ట్రీస్. లైక్ నరేగా, రూరల్ డెవలప్మెంట్ మినిస్ట్రీ. Okay, please remember the nodal ministries they're asking in the exams, guys. Before I end here, census is Home Ministry. Census is Home Ministry, guys. Who will conduct? Write the one, Registrar General. Registrar General is the person who conducts this caste survey. Office of Registrar General, also called, okay, Census Commissioner, Registrar General, same name. Okay, before I end the session, just one thing, guys. This thing is in my mind always, because the last minute I took the other option. I felt very bad about this in the exam. Lot of debate happened on this question in the 2018 exam, guys. Consider the following statements. Chala news lo undi kabatti chuddam. Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 replaced the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act 1954. Very factual question. Generally, if you don't know, you should not attempt this kind of questions. But still, we took the risk and took the option, guys. So, generally what we felt is, అవును కదా, ప్రివెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఫుడ్ అడల్టరేషన్ యాక్ట్ లేదు ఇప్పుడు, FSSA ఉంది కాబట్టి I took the risk by saying, okay, one is correct option. Food Safety and Authority Standards Act 2006 replaced Adulteration Act 54. Okay. Second statement was the thing which actually gave nightmares to all of us. FSSAI is under the charge of Director General of Health Services in the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. This is where we had a lot of debates that year, whether it is true or not. So final key they gave, only one is correct answer. డైరెక్టర్ జనరల్ ఆఫ్ హెల్త్ సర్వీసెస్ అంటే జనరల్లీ ఎఫ్ఎస్ఎస్ఐ నోడల్ మినిస్ట్రీ ఇస్ వాట్, మినిస్ట్రీ ఆఫ్ హెల్త్ అండ్ ఫ్యామిలీ వెల్ఫేర్. అందులో దానికి హెడ్ ఎవరు అంటే డైరెక్టర్ జనరల్ ఆఫ్ హెల్త్ సర్వీసెస్ అని ఇచ్చారు, బట్ ద కీ టోల్డ్ దట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రాంగ్. వాట్ దే హ్యావ్ టోల్డ్ ఇస్, I'll tell the explanation here, guys. Okay, it's a statutory body of courts as per Food Safety Act. Recently, okay, they have detached from the direct administrative control of health ministry. This FSSAI, okay, is right now holding independent authority and got special status, it seems. So it is not nodal ministry's health family welfare, but now what they are saying, it has got direct administrative control nunchi detach అయిపోయింది. FSSAI is holding independent authority and has attained a special status. Hence statement 2 is wrong. I ticked C as the right option, so I got it wrong, guys, in the final key. Because we went to the website and all that, we saw still it was like this, it was showing the same, guys. But every year we have this kind of questions which are overly factual, which may sometimes we may not get the right answer. So make sure you take calculated risk, guys. I took the risk by thinking that yes, Ministry of Health Family Welfare, but I did not know that it has got independent authority away from the control of the Ministry of Health and Family Affairs. That is what I did not know at that year, guys. అర్థమైందా కాలేదా? ఇండిపెండెంట్ అథారిటీ ఇచ్చారంట ఎఫ్ఎస్ఎస్ఏకి. ఎందుకు న్యూస్లో ఉంది? మన బాబా రామ్దేవ్ వల్ల, ఇంకెవరు, సారీ, మన ఎండిహెచ్ మసాలా వల్ల, ఓకే, అండ్ ఆల్ దీస్ గైస్, కాంప్లాన్, Nestle, Horlicks, all these guys, okay, that food farmer on Instagram has created all these things, I guess, no? Full awareness he has created over this health drinks and all, salt content, sugar content, etc. That is why it is in news. Make sure you read that, guys. Common sense is not common. Before going to any exam, see the current affairs. What are the current affairs? FSSAI news lo undi, చూసుకోవాలి దాని గురించి. ఇంకేమున్నాయి న్యూస్లో? బాబా రామ్దేవ్ ఏ యాక్ట్ అది? What is the act on which Supreme Court has passed the orders?